doing. I just want to talk today about just my opinion on what I believe, what could have had possibly had happened, which could have been, the Antichrist. Since I was a little kid, I always heard the Antichrist, Antichrist. Oh, this is the year of the Antichrist. This is the year of the Antichrist. I'm not a little kid anymore, but I do remember the year 2008. That's when a lot of things start to change, and it was a whole body forming up. And just my opinions. People probably thought the Antichrist was gonna be this one person. Nah, I believe that, in my opinions, that the Antichrist was a body of people that was anti-Christ. Everything was anti-Christ. Everything. And everybody say the last 4 years, but I remember 2008 going on almost 20 years, 17 years on the roundup. So we didn't just go through 4 years of what we presume to say that we waiting on the Antichrist. We went through almost 20 years coming out on Trump's last year. Would be 20 years. And that's why it feels so different now. And it has nothing to do with politics. The whole atmosphere is shifting. It's just my opinion. I believe the Antichrist was a body of people forming up councils in their back rooms. But there's no council that will be hidden. David told you that. And so, just in my opinion, just thinking back on 2008 until like now, everything that we went through, it was like anti-Christ. And we had to sit back and we had to endure it. It wasn't just 4 years. It's going on 17 on the roundup. And so, they're just in my opinions of what I've seen in my years coming up. And then what also brought me to believe in my opinion in this conclusion is that I remember like around that time and during that phase, I remember the whole world, all these little kids around here, they were saying, "Oh, I'm on demon time. I'm on demon time. I'm on demon time. I'm on demon time." I remember that stuff was everywhere. I'm like, "You on demon time? So you calling yourself a demon?" But now, what all these young kids doing? They say they found God. They can hear God. You don't see demon time all across social media anymore. So I'm just following the patterns of, you know, what could possibly be. So that's just in my opinion. Or how everybody doing? Yeah, I'm just talking about in my opinion, you know, what I think the Antichrist possibly was. Uh, you know, I just believe that we always waiting on one person, but I believe it was a body of people, which was one in one body. And I was saying, I remember back in 2008, like a lot of things started to change, and there was a lot of antichrist type things that was happening. And I heard somebody mention that, man, the last 4 years was like, woo. But then I had thought back a little farther. I'm like, man, it's been more than 4 years. It started back in 2008. and then had all these kids around here calling themselves demons, and like they didn't see anything wrong with it. These kids was calling themselves demons when that body had control. But now a different body has control. You have to follow the patterns, and you have to see, why all these kids turning to God, Jesus, why all these kids praying now. They can feel God now. They don't want to be demons anymore. You have to follow the patterns. And so I'm just following the patterns, everybody. No sound. Is that better? Because if it's no sound, then let me see. Oh, is that better? Is that better? Okay. Man, I was talking all that. Man, let me go back. So I was talking about going back in 2008. I was saying that, I was remembering that a lot of things had started to change around 2008, and that and just in my beliefs, in my opinion, everybody was looking for one person to be the Antichrist, which I believe, in my opinion only, that Antichrist was a whole body of people in one body. And I'm just thinking back from 2008 how I noticed a lot of things was Antichrist, and a lot of things was Antichrist. And I was just saying that looking now, how everything is going, that whole atmosphere is changing. Everything is shifting, and it has nothing to do with politics. If you're a firm believer and have in your heart, what I'm saying, that it's pure and you can see things and and I was just saying that around that time when that body of people had control, all these kids around here on social media for years was calling themselves demons. They on demon time. I'm on demon time. I'm on demon time. I'm demon this. And I'm like, whoa, like you're actually calling yourself a demon. But now, if you look on social media, those same kids have found God all of a sudden, like just like that. If you look on social media, all these kids, like it's God now. And you have to follow the patterns. You have to ask yourself, why is that? How come is that? This has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with politics. It's not individual focus on yourself. I mean, you think that he left the book just for me? You think he left the book just for me? So if I get just focus on myself, right, in certain situations, I can focus on myself, like take care of my house and my home. But if he just left the book just for me, then that means that I must be the most powerful of all humans. And I can just snap my fingers and things can happen. That doesn't make sense. Yes, I have a relationship. Yeah, I focus on me and his relationship, but you can't just focus on yourself, and that's what's wrong with the world. A lot of people they fear to talk about things, and then they let other people talk around them, and then they get left in the shadows, and then wonder why they get left in the shadows, because you're not talking. That's why. And then you're left in the shadows, and then everybody else going on about their business, and then you like, oh no, you have to know what's going on around you, and you have to know, like, why are these people acting this way around you? Because if you shut yourself off from the world, then what's your purpose here? But yeah, like I say, I'm just talking in my opinion on things that I see. Because I'm not a little child. I'm a grown man, and I've seen a lot of things. And I'm a firm believer and I just follow patterns. You know what I mean? That's how uh, police officers and the FBI get their man. They follow patterns. So in this situation, I'm following patterns. I'm using their method. And I'm just talking about that what I believe in my opinion on following patterns. And there's no way that the atmosphere could have had shifted that fast. There was no advertisement. There was no you know what I mean? There was no people out here saying, hey, 2025, everybody gonna be, you know what I'm saying, praying to God and Jesus and all that. It wasn't nobody out here saying all that. The atmosphere just switched just like that. And it just wasn't one region of people. It stretched across the whole world. So you got to follow the patterns. Who else can make that happen? So once again, like I say, I'm just talking about the patterns that I followed from 2008 to 9, and that everybody thought that, you know, maybe Antichrist is one person, but maybe it's a group of people in one body that's anti-Christ. And this has nothing to do with politics. So don't, I'm just talking about that the patterns and the atmosphere, and that, you know, things that you have to recognize what's happening around you. These little kids, they don't want to be demons no more. But the last 8, 9 years, that's all you've seen across social media. But now look at social media. Got young prophecies, got prophets, got young people coming up now, you know, they into the book, they, you know, and some of them even find out they can sing, and they singing gospel songs, and they rapping Christian music now. Like, y'all don't see it. So just my opinion of what I believe what the Antichrist was, and no more. And it wasn't just 4 years of it. It was dang on near 20. But now we coming up out of it, and I just feel like we free because the atmosphere is shifting. And if you think politics, you will never get this. You will never get this. It'll sound foolish to you. But I always know that God love you, Jesus love you, so do I.